Have you ever felt like you were juggling too much? Too many clients, too many systems, not enough time? That feeling, that pressure, well, that's capacity. Or more precisely, you've run out of capacity. And ISO 27001 Control Annex A 8.6 capacity management, this particular video refers to, is here to make sure you never reach the point where your systems, your people, or your business run out of room to breathe. Because when capacity breaks, everything stops, potentially. Not just technology, but trust, delivery, and growth. So what does the standard actually require? Well, it requires that the use of resources shall be monitored and adjusted in line with current and expected capacity requirements. That means you must monitor and adjust the resources your business depends on, not just servers and storage, but people, offices, and yes, systems too. The purpose is simple: to ensure the required capacity of information processing facilities, human resources, offices, and other facilities. It's about thinking ahead, not reacting when it's too late. As ever, let's try and bring this to life with a couple of examples. How about the small business that ran its servers near full capacity for months? And they ignored the warnings and the logs that were telling them that they were nearing capacity. One Monday morning, the system simply crashed mid-project, mid-client delivery. A £5,000 upgrade could have saved a £50,000 problem. Again, this isn't just that they ran out of capacity, they started to run out of trust with their clients as well. Or how about the human bottleneck, shall we say? A brilliant IT manager who managed everything, firewall, servers, and security. And when they went on holiday, no one knew what to do when there was a major issue. Capacity isn't just about machines, it's about people as well. And think about the physical premises as well, because they equally need to be considered. So there was a growing team that introduced a clear desk policy, but there wasn't enough storage for confidential paper. So staff started stacking sensitive files in unlocked drawers. And again, when space ran out, they then started to just leave papers on the desk because the organization hadn't given them the capacity to be able to store these documents, this information securely. So keep this in mind when we talk about capacity management. Whilst this control sits within the technical controls, we are talking much broader than that, because it's not about technology, it's about foresight, because you can't protect what you've already overloaded. Just think of it this way: many businesses think capacity just means disk space or bandwidth, and I want you to think differently. We need to think differently if we're going to maximize the benefits of ISO 27001. The standard actually requires you and wants you to think bigger. It's about asking you to have foresight, to think, do we have enough people to deliver security and securely our services? Do we have enough physical space for secure working, for instance? And do your systems have enough headroom for growth and emergencies? Capacity management ensures your business doesn't hit a wall, technically, physically, or operationally. So what do you need to be doing on this particular control? Well, you need to start by mapping out what capacity means across your organization. Information processing, servers, storage, bandwidth, applications, that kind of thing. Then think about human resources, skills, staffing levels, key person dependencies. Do you have any single points of failure, or SPOFs, as we often refer to them? But maybe that's you. Maybe you are a key person that the organization relies upon. You therefore are a risk. You also need to think about offices and facilities, desks, secure storage, environmental controls, that kind of thing. Take into account the business criticality of each area or each function or each system or each person. Just remember that a minor delay in printing is one thing, a system outage in your client portal is quite another. So again, this is all about appropriateness. It's all about thinking about this in terms of your organization. You can use systems to help you with this particular control. Certainly from a systems point of view, a network point of view, you can apply tools like dashboards, logs and alerts, Splunk, cloud metrics, that kind of thing to ensure that your systems are efficient and reliable. Use stress tests to confirm your systems can handle peak loads before they're tested in real life. You need to build detective controls, set up some form of early warning systems, again, logs, alerts, dashboards, to spot any capacity issues before they become business failures. And with this control, and remembering it's talking about capacity management, so you need to plan for the future. Capacity planning isn't static. Use trends, growth forecasts, and project plans to redirect resources or predict future demand. This is where and why it's important to speak to your business about future expansion plans. If the business is talking about expanding from its current location into 5, 6 other business areas or regions, or potentially even looking to increase their business by acquisition of another organization, you need to know about this because capacity could quickly become an issue. Consider resources with a long lead time or high cost as well, such as specialist staff, secure servers, or leased facilities as well. Managers should use this data to identify constraints early and avoid dependency on key personnel. And that's when you need to start to think about what you're doing with all of this information. You need to increase or reduce the capacity in a strategic manner. Think strategically. If you're hitting your limits, you have two choices. Increase capacity by hiring new staff, acquiring additional office space, investing in more powerful infrastructure, leveraging cloud computing for elastic scaling, for instance. Or you might reduce demand by deleting obsolete data. Remember, good old GDPR here starts to kick in again, where we talk about storing data for as long as is necessary. So do you need to store that data? Can you delete it? You might want to dispose of expired paperwork, archive boxes. Do you need to have documentation that is stored there for 10, 15, 20 years? Decommissioning legal systems as well. Maybe you want to look at optimizing batch processes or queries and restricting non-essential essential bandwidth, e.g. streaming. These are kind of consideration, or certainly this last consideration is the kind of things we would discuss during peak periods such as the World Cup or the Olympics or Wimbledon, or insert any kind of high event that's televised. Will that have a drain on resources? Remembering capacity management isn't just about systems. So streaming, yes, talks about bandwidth on your networks and such, but also people logging in at certain times, or people not being available because of a large sporting event like the World Cup or tennis or cricket or rugby or whatever it might be. So just think about what that bandwidth looks like in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. These things are highly predictable, certainly the sporting events. And then you need to document your capacity management plan. Certainly for mission critical systems, you need to document how you monitor, forecast, and respond to capacity changes. Just remember, this isn't red tape, it's resilience on paper. And that's really where we start to talk about, well, what will the auditor be looking for in that case? This isn't about red tape, it's about resilience on paper or on screens. The auditor is going to be looking for a series of actions that you have taken to think about capacity management. So they'll want to look at, or they'll expect to talk to you about business and security objectives, showing some form of alignment between growth and capacity. System capacity dashboards and logs is something that typically auditors will want to see that demonstrate that you are actively monitoring capacity. And just remember, again, I'm going to emphasize this, that this isn't just about systems, it's about physical, human, and technical capacity plans. So the auditor is going to want to see that you have considered all of those elements. And that really should tie back to your business and security objectives and showing that alignment. If possible, if you can, and this is more around the technical side of things, stress testing your capacity management and the results of that, the auditor will expect to see threshold alerts, that sort of thing they'll be expecting. As ever, they'll want to see the results of audits that you've undertaken, management reviews where you're discussing capacity, and ultimately any issues, any risks, any problems need to be identified, documented in your MRTs, your management review team meetings, and also included on your risk register. Just remember before you continue that the auditor isn't looking for perfection. They're looking for proactive management. They want to know that you've thought about this. So in terms of what you need to do, I've kind of talked about that earlier, but in summary, I'm going to simply say this to you. Start with awareness, talk to IT, HR, and facilities, ask them what capacity problems they face now and what might be coming up. Make sure you monitor and measure those kinds of things as well. And finally, what I'm just going to say to you is this, that capacity management isn't about counting servers. It's about making sure your business has enough room to grow and grow safely. When you manage capacity well, your people stay productive, your systems stay stable, and your customers stay confident. Because running out of space, time, or talent doesn't just slow you down, it erodes trust. Annex A 8.6 helps you build that trust into your operation. One plan, one process, one person at a time. I hope that has been helpful. If you have any questions, please do get in touch. If you have any comments, leave the comments on this video. Please give it a like, give it a share. You never know who you're going to help. As ever, I will say this, you're definitely going to be helping me, so thank you in advance. And just remember that if you need to think about capacity management in any kind of way, just keep it in mind that it is those three aspects. It's the physical aspects, it's people, and it's technical as well. Because growth is only good if you have the capacity to handle it. So build your future with space to succeed. So I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, stay well, stay safe, and stay connected. Take care. Bye-bye.